So this past week I've been making my way across the country. A couple days ago I was in Florida leading a panel at MegaCon. I'm currently in Las Vegas for a conference, but I didn't want any of that to stop me from seeing my most anticipated film of the rest of the year as soon as possible. So I sent a few emails and was able to get myself added to the press list for the Las Vegas press screening of Top Gun Maverick. Now, my excitement for this movie has been through the roof since the first trailer dropped, and then the initial reactions to the film were as good as they possibly could be. So I have been dying to see this film, and I finally have. What did I think about it? Do I agree with all the early buzz, or am I going to be a little bit contrarian on this one? Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comments section. If you've seen Top Gun Maverick, what did you think about it? Also, let me know your thoughts on the original Top Gun, and give me a little bit of point of reference. Are you someone that's like my age that grew up watching Top Gun for the last 35 years? Or maybe you're someone younger that's never seen Top Gun before or only recently watched it because this movie was coming out. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Let's get started with the good. And I'll just get right to it because I want to keep this review brief because I'm recording it after midnight in a hotel room and I don't want to make the people in the rooms around me angry with me. This movie's great. It is just a classic, good old-fashioned blockbuster, a true crowd pleaser that knows how to take the audience on a journey, make you care about the characters, and just have thrilling, theater-worthy action sequences. And a big part of what just makes it feel so special is that it's not like every other blockbuster that comes out these days that relies on CGI and green screens. It's actual jets doing real things in an exciting, visceral manner. But beyond that, like just as a movie in general, it takes everything that was great about the original one, takes all the beats that you loved from the original one, and just does a better version of them. And I love the original one. I did a review a couple days ago of it and talked about how it's just a great, fun film. And this movie just understands everything that worked about it and everything that was a little bit cheesy, everything that maybe could be improved upon. And it just gives you a better version of Top Gun. Like all the familiar beats, it has them, but it gives a better reason for why they're taking place. It structures it a little bit better in a way that just gives every scene, every moment, every action sequence, every fun sequence a little bit more meaning. It ties into this journey that these characters are on, and thus you care more. It has more emotion to it. It's more exciting. You're on the edge of your seat more because the movie is constructed so well and in a manner from the very beginning. You understand who these characters are, what they want, what they're trying to accomplish, what their faults are, what their issues are with some of the other characters, and thus, when they come into conflict with each other, when they need to work together with each other, you care. You care about how things play out. And just like a few things to kind of compare it to the original one, and I don't want to do that too much just in case you haven't seen the original one, and this is a review of the current one, but even the way that this movie it gives a clear end goal for the film, the plot of the film, not just the characters, but the plot of the film, where there's a threat that ties into this whole journey that the characters are on, the thing that brings them together. It's very clear what it is. It's very clear why it's a challenge, and the skills that they need to have, the ways that the characters need to grow and develop. And so as you move towards it, you see just how dangerous it is. Thus, when you get to the third act, you know all the things that can go wrong, and it just puts you on the edge of your seat. And also, you know all the conflicts with the characters and all the odd dynamics that once again makes you care about each choice that they make throughout the finale of the film. to contrast that with the original Top Gun, it was very much about the school and who would win the Top Gun trophy, and then it kind of tacks on this third act that it has payoff for the journey that Maverick was on and everything, but you didn't really know what was going on. And in this film, like, you know exactly what their mission is and what they're trying to accomplish. It's so incorporated into the film. Beyond that, of course, you have to talk about the dog fights, the jet fights, and with all the advancements in technology, cameras, and everything like that, they're just so much better than in the first film. And the first film had the best jet fights, jet stunts in any film ever. But here, there's just stunning sequences. And the big improvement really is the geography of the battle. Like, you understand what's going on with the planes and what they're trying to accomplish. And there's just a number of different things that they do to make it really clear, to be able to see which plane is where they're at. And you can follow them in a way that just makes them so much more exciting than the previous best, which was the original Top Gun. I mean, just exponentially better with what they're able to shoot, how they're able to shoot it. I saw it in IMAX, and I mean, just big, massive scenes, and just these jets doing wild, crazy, awesome, exciting stuff. And then, of course, you need to talk about the cast, and Tom Cruise is a great movie star. Maybe in real life he's a weird guy, but man, that guy knows how to deliver what a crowd wants. But beyond just kind of being the fun, classic Tom Cruise grin on Maverick's face, in addition to that, because the journey that he's on, it's a much more reflective film and role, there's a bunch of moments where Tom Cruise has to act. Not just be the charming, charismatic movie star, but he's an actor. And because of that, you really feel it. Because it's a vulnerable Tom Cruise. I mean, all the cast here is really good. You know, Miles Teller is totally able to go toe-to-toe with him as this very much angsty character in the film that has many issues with Maverick going back quite a ways. The fun one in here is Glen Powell, who actually went to the same high school as me. I'm quite a few years older than him, so I didn't know him. We weren't there at the same time, but I know a bunch of people that know him in real life, which is just kind of fun. So I just love it whenever he shows up in anything, especially when it's like this, and it's really, really, really good. It's exciting since he's from my high school. But I mean, everyone in the cast is really good. Final thing I want to touch on real quick is Val Kilmer. And I'd heard, kind of some speculation of, how much is he really in the movie? Is he just a picture on the wall? And yes, he is in the movie. He's used, and Iceman is used in a very powerful way in the film. And so it was very cool what they were kind of able to do in this film. That is very impactful. And that's, I think, a big way to describe this film. It's a movie that just carries a lot of weight emotionally. And it has all the fun of the original, but it has so much more emotion to it. And it feels less like melodrama. It feels less manipulative. And it's a story about a man growing older with regrets and strengths, weaknesses, and trying to figure out what the right thing is to do in a situation that's very tough. And because you care about the characters and the journey that they're on, it's very potent when it has the emotional moments. It's so exciting when it's the action sequences, and it's just all done world class. But it's not a perfect movie, so let's move on to the bad. Well, honestly, it is pretty close to a perfect version of what they were going for. I mean, maybe a couple scenes felt a little bit too long. Maybe the transition from the second act to the third act was a little bit quick. but who cares? I don't. This movie was incredibly effective at what it was going for, and any sort of criticisms just feel like desperately trying to find something. Be like, there was like a moment there that maybe was a little bit off. Who cares? It's a great blockbuster that you should go see on the biggest screen that you can. This is a movie that was delayed 2 full years. It was supposed to come out in 2020. Tom Cruise wouldn't let them drop it on streaming. Didn't want them to put it out when people weren't going back to the theaters. And it was absolutely worth the wait. It absolutely lives up to the hype. It is a worthy follow-up to the original. That the original will always have a certain magic to it as this incredible 80s product. But as a film, this is better on every single level. If you're a Top Gun fan, you are in for a real treat. Overall, I'm going to give this one an A on the entertainment scale, a 9.5. Go see this movie. If you haven't seen the original and that's your holdup for going to go see this movie, go watch the original. Yeah, gotta watch that one first. Watch the original. And then go watch this movie as soon as you can on the biggest screen that you can. It's a good old-fashioned, great blockbuster with emotion. Totally worth your time. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much. Bye-bye.